like when I like the hardest thing to come here without family and lost, not knowing what to do and don't know what is gonna be in my life. I have a lot of plans for myself, but I don't know when I get here. I don't know what's gonna happen. I discovered that it wasn't that easy. That my plans wasn't that easy. So I go through a lot of, but long story short, I end up in the pastor's house, and it's when and that one of those moments that I don't know what to do. I just decide one day to tell them if I can come with them to go out to do something because I was scared to be at home, and I was fearing that I was in danger, so I need to get out of the house for a little bit. So when they asked me, so where you gonna go, where I leave you or drop you, I just asked, I don't know, where you going? And they say, well, we're going to church. So I say, then I can go then with you. So that's how I came to the church, to Sendero de Salvación, for first time. They were celebrating their anniversary. Then is when I met Laura, my sister-in-law. So I think that's the point. From that moment, I think that I came to the church and I started to know new people and surrounded by a different environment that I was. So after I knew Laura, she don't leave me alone. She started contacting me. She will look for me everywhere. Like every time after she got up from school, I was sleeping because I was her age, but I was working night shift. So after school, she will come and wake me up and get me up and take me to eat with her to her house. So I think that was the moment that I start to see life different, and to get in the youth group and start learning about Jesus. I knew that God exists, but I didn't know Him. So it's like I used to hear Grandma saying about God, that God will help you, God will do this for you, but never present Him to me that as a father. So when I started knew Him, like He was my father, and that everything that I was passing through, He can take it for me. Like I start like resting. I start being a teenager because I didn't have childhood. So being with Laura and the youth group, I start like feeling I was a little girl that was fitting in a group, that I can do things different, that I'm not a older person that have to worry for everything, because I was so worried because I was carrying my family's responsibility at 15 years old. It was too much for me. Yeah. So I think I always say that Laura have a lot to do with, because, and I thank God for her, and He have His intention on everything He does. So I think He just was the way. Everything I go through was a process to learn to be strong, and when I get to the place He had planned it for me, at that moment I was gonna be ready to stand up and to just tell Him to come to my life and forgive me and restore me.
So how did giving your life to Jesus change your life?
It changed a lot, because I was all my life was struggling and going through a lot of pain because of my father, because I didn't know him, and I feel like orphan, like that's how you say it when you don't have father. So I feel like I don't have nobody. I don't have mother. I don't have father. So it's like, why I am in this world? Why I'm living? When I'm here if I don't care? If nobody care for me? So I was asking too many questions. But when I understand that I didn't came to this world because my mom and my father decided me to burn, and it was because it was a purpose for me to come to earth, and there was this God just used them for me to come. But when I discovered that he was my real father, that's when I started living. Like, okay, so there is future for me. So I can become married because I say I won't marry because I was a mess. So I don't believe in that. I don't believe that I can be happy one day. So my mind starts changing and seeing life with a different perspective. The fear and the thinking of hurting myself starts to disappear because I start knowing that I have something bigger than what it was before. So I just start looking for that, and I think at that until now I keep learning and learning, and the more I learn, he just surprised me.
It's beautiful.